Hi, this is Alive from Scrappy Mania. And last week I did a layout using some of the heritage pictures that was given to my husband from his aunt. And I'm going to create a page or an album with all these pictures. Now, last week I created this layout, which had to do with two school photos, old school photos. And and then I discovered there were three other similar photos like this. I have three other similar photos that were taken before these two. So I wanted to keep it in sequence. So what I did is I added this page. So if you can see here, this page was added. So I'm going to create a 3-spread layout. So what I did is, as you can see here, I put some double adhesive here. I made a slit in the page protector. And then I cut an extra page protector. I cut it a notch in and about 2 inches in on each side. And then I placed that inside my slit. And now I have a 3-page layout. So one of the pages is going to be here. Another one's going to be here. And another one is going to be on the other side. So let me show you what I'm doing. The layout. So I'm going to be using my heirloom paper stack from Die Cut with a View. So this is the paper pad that I'm using. And I'm not really using a lot of embellishments like store-bought embellishments. I'm using the paper pad because it does have a lot of icons. As you can see here, it has a lot of little icons and things like that. Let me see if I find one. Like this one. There's a lot of little icons that the paper has within itself. And I believe there's another one here. Like this, you can cut this bottom strip out and use it as an embellishment. You can cut the butterfly. So there's a lot to do with these papers. And this one actually has a lot of cutouts that you can do. So that's what I'm doing. I'm also using a lot of my old stamps. So I'm using stamps and I'm using my quick cut machine to cut a lot of my tabs. As you can see this tab says "Oh Snap." So what you do is you take your Gypsy. This is the My Kitchen font, My Kitchen cartridge, and you take one of the tabs, and then what you do is you put the word "Oh Snap" and you weld it and merge it together, and that's how you get that. So I'm going to use that, and I'm also going to use a stamp here of a balloon, which I already colored and did everything. So I'm going to use a Dear Lizzie stamp that says Big Day, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that here on this little band here. So because I don't want the date to show, I'm going to use some of my tape to cover up the date. Then I'm going to use some of my vintage photo. Well, actually, this is walnut stain. I'm going to use walnut stain. And I'm going to stamp, making sure, yeah, that's how you stamp it. I just want to make sure I have it correct. Then I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to stamp down Big Day right there. Okay, so now I'm going to put this layout together. It's a 3-page layout, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start inking all my edges and also placing my embellishments down. And I already pre-stitched all my background papers to a solid white cardstock to give it more stability. Because I love the paper in this paper pad, but it's very thin. So you always have to back it up. Or at least I like to back it up with another piece of cardstock so that way it'll be nice and sturdy. And as you can see, this picture is in a sleeve. So what I did is there's an extra 8 8 by 11 piece of cardstock in the back of that frame, and I made a sleeve and I just slipped in my picture in that sleeve. So now I'm just adhering all my little tab, and I'm using a lot of foam adhesive to give it some dimension, but I don't want to give it too much dimension because then they won't fit in my album. However, for this page, or for the next page, I actually created a flower embellishment that is very dimensional, and it is kind of bulky. So now I'm just showing you my layout, the finished product. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start creating the second page. Here's the second page of my 3-page layout. And I'm putting down the doily first, and that doily was created with the Martha Stewart circle edge punch, and I really love that tool. And then because this is a double spread, so this layout is a double spread layout from um, in my album, and you'll see it at the end of the video. I'll show you how everything fits in the album. That's why I wanted to cut the oval, those scallop edges, and I wanted to make it flat because I wanted to give it an appearance that it continues to the second page. So you'll see it in a moment. And at the end, I'll recap the whole layout. And see here, this is one of my handmade embellishment that I created, like a flower spread. And it's very dimensional. And actually, it's a little too bulky for this album, but after I put it down, I glued it with my glue gun. I couldn't pull it up, but it's going to stay in the album. I really like my flower spread. So I'm done with that page. So now this is the last page of my 3-page layout. So I'm putting the that's with the Martha Stewart punch around the page, stamp or punch. And see how I'm matching it up with the other photo to make sure that I cut it and I place the frame at the same level as the other photo or the other layout. So I'm just putting more embellishments. And then I made like a medallion with a lot of little doily stamps that I have that I stamped and cut out, and also colored it with watercolor ink. So I'm almost done with this layout. As you can see, it was pretty simple. That child that you see there was created with the Child Play cartridge. And now I'm going to show you how it's going to fit together. See how I wanted to make it look seamless, like it's one big doily or one big scallop frame. And there's my second page. And then the last page is this one. This is my first of my 3-page layout. So I'm placing it inside my album, and I'll show you in a minute how it's gonna look. So you'll open the flap and you'll get the first page, then the second school picture, which is that one's a year later, and the next one is a year after that. And then when you go to the other remaining 2 page on the other side, those are the last 2 school pictures. And thank you for watching. Bye now.